Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brad, and my hands is Handyman Saitou in Another World Volume 1. This is a pretty interesting debut. It's by Kazutomo Ichitomo. Translation is Sheldon, Drzka, and lettering is Anthony Quintessenza. So the story is about this guy named Saitou who is killed and winds up in another world. In our world, he's a handyman, and then in this fantasy world, he has brought his skills over as a handyman, as well as his favorite wire cutters. He joins a party, and, they're off to adventures. And what's interesting is how this manga is kind of put together. It is not really like an ongoing narrative. There's not necessarily like a quest that they go on. Instead, it's like a series of short stories within 4 chapters. The stories tend to be like about maybe 2-3 pages, 1 to 3 pages, really. Taking you through it, like really kind of short, almost punchline driven moments. And generally, it's pretty good. It's pretty entertaining. It's pretty fun. There's definitely some laughs. It's cute. The relationship and the interaction between the various members of the parties is really good. And we learn about each of the characters, their general kind of their history, what they bring to the party, and there's a little bit of a narrative, not much towards the beginning. At the end of the manga, the kind of hints that we might get more of a story going forward. But for the most part, this first volume is really a setup to the world, the characters, and we kind of learn what like everyone brings to the table, and it works pretty well. It's interesting. Like, it's not one that I'm just going to sit there and say it's like the best fantasy manga out there, but it's entertaining. I think the other thing that's really interesting is the art doesn't feel quite as like polished and factory driven as other manga. I mean, you can see here, like, this is an entire chapter right there, or section or whatever. I don't know if we call it a chapter, but yeah, it's like an entire section right there. But you can see, to me, the art's not quite as like flashy as the other manga. It feels kind of very indie, which I think is really interesting. This is something I kind of expect to see at an indie comic show, which is kind of cool. It's not something you regularly see like in a manga. You can see kind of how short these stories, sections, whatever you want to call them, are. So yeah, it's a very interesting read. The look of it is really interesting, and it's kind of something like a little kind of retro and, I don't know, do-it-yourself about it, and I like it. So yeah, it's definitely intriguing. If you like fantasy, it's one to check out, and I'm really interested in seeing where the second volume is going to go based off of where this first volume ended. So overall, very, very intrigued by it all. You can go get it. It is out now in comic and bookstores. Got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code to tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage, and by doing that, you help support our site. So thank you. I also want to thank Yen Press for hooking us up with a review copy and support for that, and of course you all for watching. If you're into manga, if you're into comics, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, Mastodon, TikTok, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.